Good evening. Welcome again to 30 Minutes of Aging with Attitude. How often have we all, for no apparent reason, had an old tune or song to pop into our minds? One that we might have heard decades ago, and yet it's still with us, and it seems to be a part of us. But unfortunately, a lot of the songs in the past are almost never played anymore. Tonight, in this 30 minutes, we're going to try to bring back some of these old memories and old songs, and we hope that with luck we'll hit some of your favorites. We'll do our very best. To do this, we're fortunate to have two fine professional musicians, both very proficient in their own right. Now, I'd like to introduce them. First of all, on my right, is Nathan Hefner. He happens to be, by chance, my grandson. He is on the keyboard and the vocal. And I can give you just a little bit of his background because I remember it so well. When he was 3 years of age, he loved to sing. I couldn't understand why a little tot like that loved to sing, but he did. At 4, his sister had a little toy piano, and his grandmother on the other side had a small organ. He got onto both of those. And by 5, he was on to the full-size piano, and he has been singing and tickling the ivories ever since. He has had no let-up. It's been his whole life. And he has performed up and down the coast, many places, from all the way from Florida to Massachusetts, and more other places in between. And he is on the go all the time. Now, on this side, we have a gent that is phenomenal in the music end of the business. I can't begin to recite any of his background. So, with that in mind, I will ask Nathan to do the job for me, if you will, please.
I would be glad to. Oh, that's right. Jim, I met a few years ago. I don't even remember where we met, Jim.
We played with Jim Calabrese for the first time.
That's right. A friend of ours,
up
Jim,
at Lake Norman.
The legendary Jim Calabrese, a sax player, friend of ours. And I was taken aback by Jim's playing, some of the best I've ever heard. And Jim has performed with some of the most legendary names in the business. He was with the Glenn Miller Orchestra for 3 years. He's worked with Tony Bennett, Margaret Whiting. There's a bunch. I mean, there's so many.
Dick Haymes. Steve Lawrence, Edie Gourmet.
Yeah.
A lot of
I guess I didn't know that one. I didn't know you worked with him. But yeah, lots of stuff. And it's been a real pleasure working with you over the last 3 or 4 years, how long we've been working now.
Well, you folks have both had such a phenomenal background, and I would like to ask that, if possible, is there any one place back there that seemed to be the highlight of your career? Either a place or places. If you'll give that to us briefly.
I think for me, the night that I got to open for Patti Page, my favorite singer, that was a great night. I worked with the Smothers Brothers. Great night. I think anytime you get to do a big concert like that, I think you agree with me, the excitement of that and the musicians, and just you've got the audience, there's just nothing like it. But then again, on the other hand, some of my favorite nights in memory are just playing a club date, like with Jim, and you get done with it, and everybody there's a lot of energy. The crowd really, you've got them, and you walk away and you've done your job, and everybody's happy. There's no better feeling.
Thank you. Well, I can well remember you taking over all of my old Patti Page records, and those are your grandmother's on the other side, and taking the whole works and being the Patty Page's youngest fan club member at the age of 12.
I'm not anymore, though.
Pardon?
I'm not. I got somebody else is taking that over now. I'm no longer the youngest.
Okay. Well, Jim, what was your the highlights of your career, or can you name one?
Well, back in the 70s, I was part of a radio show called the American Popular Song. It won the Peabody Award. We were lucky enough to perform one of these shows at the Smithsonian. And through the show, we worked with all of the great singers, Tony Bennett, Mabel Mercer, Dick Haymes, Johnny Hartman, just all singers like that, Margaret Whiting. Right. I got to know a really love for American popular songs and lyrics. That's why I love this guy, working with this guy. Yeah. We can play something. I say, Nathan, do you know the bridge to that tune? He says, of course I do. Or the verse. Of course I do.
And it's very rare to find drummers that are that into the lyric. I mean, a lot of drummers just drum and they're not into the song. And we can sit and talk songs all day long. So.
And isn't it great also to find two musicians that share our taste in music? They're hard to find, believe me. This is two of our shows. I will step out of the picture now.
Okay. I thought that maybe for the first one we would do a song I open a lot of times with, a lesser-known Irving Berlin tune. All right. Soft lights and sweet music, and you in my arms. Oh, that sweet melody will bring you closer to me. Chopin and pale moonlight reveal all your charms. So give me soft lights and sweet music, and you in my arms. That sweet, sweet melody will bring you closer to me. Chopin and pale moonlight reveal all your charm. So give me soft lights and all that sweet music, and you in my arms. Yeah. Nice. Like I said before, you make it very, very easy.
We have fun.
One of my favorite singers, and I think one of yours, Rosemary Clooney's got to be.
Absolutely.
Man, singer of the Great American Songbook. There's a song she'd had a hit with back in the 50s that I've had the pleasure of recording twice, and I love singing it. Never gets old. Remember Hey There?
Sure.
It's a great tune. From the Pajama Game was that show. Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. Love never made a fool of you. You used to be too wise. Hey there, you on that high flying cloud. Though she won't throw a crumb to you, you think someday she'll come to you. You better forget her, her with her nose in the air. She
has you dancing on a string. Break it and she won't care. Won't you take this advice I hand you like a brother? Or are you not seeing things too clear? Are you just too far gone to hear? Is it all going in one ear and out the other? Hey there, you on that high-flying cloud. Though she won't throw a crumb to you, you think someday she's gonna come to you. You just better forget her. Her with her nose in the air. She has you dancing on a string. Break it and she won't care. Won't you take this advice I hand you like a brother? Or are you not seeing things too clear? Are you too much in love to hear? Is it all going in one ear and out the other? Won't you take this advice I hand you like a brother? Or are you not seeing things too clear? Are you too much in love to hear? Is it all going in one ear and out the other?
It's a great song. Now, we both share a love of Johnny Mercer's lyrics.
Yes.
He is my favorite. And I think going to Savannah and performing down there so often, you get this connection. Maybe I'm lying to myself. I don't know, but this.
Oh, I don't think so.
This connection with they love him so much down there, and are so proud of him. And you get down there and you do those songs in his hometown, and some of which some of the songs he wrote there, and where it was certainly inspired so many of his tunes. Let's do a few of those.
Sure.
Let's see, what we got? Yeah. This is one from one of his maybe one of two Broadway shows he did from Lil Abner. And I know you recorded this song with Margaret Whiting.
Margaret Whiting, yes.
Yeah.
You deserve a boy who's willing, namely me, one who would love to raise your children, namely me, standing there in the doorway waiting at the close of day, with you all the way, to love, honor, and obey. You deserve 2 arms to hold you, namely mine, there to comfort and enfold you, rain or shine. I deserve someone sweet and tender, bashful and shy and true, and I know just the one who'll do, namely you. standing there in the doorway waiting at the close of day, with you all the way to love, honor, and obey. You deserve 2 arms to hold you, namely mine. There to comfort and enfold you, rain or shine. I deserve someone sweet and tender, bashful and shy and true, and I know just the one who do. Namely, you.
Wow, that's a pretty song. There's a song that Johnny Mercer wrote with Richard Whiting, who was Margaret's father. Tell me about the session. You were talking earlier about working with Margaret. What was that like? I've met her before. She came to one of my shows, and I couldn't figure out what Margaret Whiting was doing at my show. But
First of all, she was a great lady.
Yeah.
As opposed to, just she was a wonderful singer, but Maggie was a great, great lady and fun to be around. And what made that particular weekend so really fun was that the fellow Alec Wilder, the composer, was there.
That's crazy.
And the two of them together was just an unbelievable weekend.
I'm assuming they'd known each other for a long time.
Oh, yes, and they fed off of each other. And then they left there and they went to Charleston to spend the week together.
And the town was never
And
the
that
same.
must have been a hoot
I bet so.
with Maggie and Alec.
This is one of the great songs her dad, like I was saying, Richard Whiting wrote, called "Too Marvelous for Words," and she recorded that on. You recorded that song with her.
It was on, on a CD from the show.
Good song.
You're just too marvelous for words, like glorious, glamorous, and that'll stand by amorous. It's all so wonderful, I'll just never find the words that say enough, tell enough. I mean, they're just not swell enough. You're much too much, and just too very, very to ever be in Webster's dictionary. And so I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. Much, too much, and just too very, very to ever be in Webster's unabridged dictionary. So I am borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, tell you that you're marvelous, tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words.
I recently saw something that Mercer used other lyrics that weren't included in that version, but they actually had to look up the words, and they hadn't been used for like 150 years.
Oh, he was a master of
he was a master of
putting things together. They think, what is that going to... That was one thing about Alec Wilder. He said, that'll never work. But then he would listen, he'd say, that really does work. And it was really some obscure arrangements of words, I guess.
The other one I'd like to do, one of my favorites, I think it just evokes when the time that it was written. It's kind of a time capsule, and P.S. I Love You, and the way they write to the Browns, and the way that just everything, it speaks of another time.
Right.
I always like this song.
Dear, I thought I'd drop a line. The weather's cool, the folks are fine. I'm in bed each night at 9. P.S. I love you. Yesterday we had some rain, but all in all, I can't complain. Was it dusty on the train? P.S. I love you. Right to the Browns just as soon as you're able. Yeah, it's nice. They came around to call. I burned in the dining room table, and let me see, I guess that's all. Nothing else for me to say, and so I'll close. But by the way, everybody's thinking of you. P.S. I love you. I do my best to obey all your wishes. I put a sign up, think. Now I've gotta buy us a new set of dishes, or wash the ones that are piled in the sink. Nothing else to tell you, dear, except each day feels like a year. Every night I'm dreaming of you. P.S. I love you.
Man, that's a pretty song. Love that song. Well, I think we're getting close to closing up time.
Swinging one, maybe.
Swinging one down. This is one of these tunes that I've always loved, and it's it's done largely as a ballad, but it swings very easily.
Sure.
And we'll just take a stab at swinging one out here.
What is it?
A great standard, Time After Time.
Okay. Thank you.
It's just like we're on a gig.
There we go.
Yeah, just start.
Time after time, I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you, so lucky to be the one you run to see in the evening when the day is through. The passing years will show you've kept my love so young, so new. And time after time, you'll hear me say that I'm so lucky to be loving you. Time after time, I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you. I'm so lucky to be the one you run to see in the evening when the day is through. I only know what I know. The passing years will show. You've kept my love so young, so new. And time after time, you'll hear me say that I'm so lucky to be loving you. What I know, the passing years will show. You've kept my love so young, so new. And time after time, you'll hear me say that I'm so lucky to be loving.
Thank you, sir.